This video is basically just a clothing stereotypes, but with more graphical data, and also I play on American servers, so most of these will apply to American players, but you know, there's definitely some overlap, I guarantee it. Also, this video is brought to you by Raycon and their new and improved Everyday Earbuds Classic. The newest model of this fan favorite line now packs active noise cancelling, making them the perfect choice for ignoring your responsibilities. The issues will still be there, but now you can't hear them, which means you don't have to worry about them. Another thing I love is the small ergonomic design without any sticks. This makes them easy to wear under ear protection, so I can listen while I'm mowing the lawn or working on the car. This low-profile design extends to the charging case, which is sleek and convenient to fit in your pocket. With 8 hours of battery, another 32 hours in the charging case, and customizable gel tips for comfort, you can wear these things all day, whether you're doing the dishes, going for a pleasant walk, or spending 4 hours in a 110-degree attic replacing fans, meanwhile you have no light and you're delicately balancing on thin 2x4s. That was a fun day. Happy to help, Dad. Go to buyraycon.com/LaVivi or use the link below to get 20% off of your everyday earbuds. This immensely supports the channel, and thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. The standard USEC clothing is worn almost entirely by new players. The digital green camo is just not visually appealing, so much so that it's earned this shirt the unfortunate moniker of Booger Shirt. There's a reason almost no one wears this, so if someone has it on, they are probably brand new, so much so that they haven't even figured out that they can buy different clothing yet. Oh, and also, half of them are incredibly racist. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, this shirt is the Tarkov equivalent of the Burger King crown. The Deadly Frog is almost always worn by 6K hour Giga Sweats who absolutely live for PvP. Hiding is not an option, and running will not save you, because they will chase your ass across the entire map just to put you in the dirt. They are tryhards to the limit, but they aren't toxic. They will fight you, and regardless of the outcome, that will be the end of it. No crap talk, no compliments. Bullets are the only thing exchanged in an otherwise completely neutral interaction. I will now talk about every single shirt that is unlocked in some way by playing Tarkov Arena. People who wear arena shirts tend to be a pretty mixed bag, but there are a few things that unify almost all of them. They all tend to chase down PvP, they all tend to be fairly competent in terms of skill, and they all absolutely despise getting killed by someone who isn't W keying. If you are moving and win a fight against them, they don't mind. But if you are crabbing or at all stationary, even for like a second, they will be pissed. Do not accept that friend request. You will learn new words. The Spec Ops shirt is worn by people who want to look good, but don't feel like changing their shirt for every loadout. They buy a versatile black shirt that looks good with anything, and they never change it. It's the Tarkov equivalent of throwing on an overshirt. It is the absolute bare minimum you can do, but still looks somewhat nice. Because of this, they get loadouts together pretty quickly. Their goal is to get in raid as fast as possible. They want to play Tarkov, not tactical dress to impress. If you are queuing with them and take more than 3 minutes to get a loadout together, you won't be queuing with them for long. If they're wearing the Hawaiian shirt, they're a crackhead and they are not taking this seriously at all. It is a bright yellow, loud shirt in a tactical shooter where getting spotted first is a serious disadvantage. Unless they're riding on top of a school bus, they aren't blending in with anything, and their playstyle will match the loud, aggressive shirt they wear. They will ego swing you, they will W key you, and they will be doing this all while watching a movie or a 4-hour-long YouTube video on their second monitor. And somehow, they will still kill you. Sweaty playstyle, chill human being. The USEC Winter is only available to people who completed Koravad, so the person who is wearing it is either really good, really patient, or in a 5-stack and you need to stop looting right now, you're about to get shot. The PCU Ironsight is the winter equivalent for people who don't have friends, don't have time for an event, or otherwise just couldn't be bothered to complete Koravad. While I don't think it's quite as drippy as the winter clothing, it does the job and still looks great with an all-white loadout. The people who use it, probably a bit more on the casual side, probably a bit more chill. There are two types of tracksuit players. The first group is people who did it legitimately. They are very good at the game, are hyper sweats to the max, but they're also fairly chill. They're gonna have hundreds of raids within the first week, always have meta gear, but they'll also probably let you finish that quest you're struggling with. Then there's the other group of tracksuit players. These guys got the tracksuit by going on to dead servers because they didn't want to deal with PMCs, and then they use it as a status symbol, even though they're really not that good. They have massive egos, accuse anyone who beats them of cheating, and they haven't seen the sun since the Mesozoic era. Also, the worst takes I have ever seen on Twitter. Have you ever read a post and then had to stop and physically process how a breathing, cognizant being could be that stupid? That's these guys. There are a lot more chill tracksuit gamers than there are of these sweaty assholes, but these guys are so toxic that it just balances out. Aggressor Tac used to be a common sight as a cheap tan man option, but nowadays it's hardly ever used. The coloring is a little off compared to all the items in the game, and there are so many better tan options available for USEC that this one just got left behind. If they're wearing it, they probably used to wear it all the time and continue to do so out of a sense of loyalty. The USEC mission is another cheap tan option, but it has the benefit of actually color matching all the tan helmets and rigs. Because of this, it has become the go-to budget option for a tan loadout. If someone is wearing this, they want to spend as few rubles as possible, but they still really want that tan drip. They hang a little more on the casual side of players, but are also willing to burn rubles for drip, and I respect that. The USEC Sandstone is another solid tan cosmetic, but that's not why these people bought it. No. They bought it because the gloves look nice, and if they care that much about the gloves, odds are they're recovering CSGO addicts. Alright, the Legionnaire is the sweatiest tan cosmetic that you can get, where the players are still pretty chill. They bought it because the rolled sleeves give it a little character and uniqueness from the other options, and otherwise they just play the game. Completely neutral person. And then there's the Predator. The Predator is where we start the downward spiral into toxicity. These guys are smart. So smart, in fact, that they know I have cheats. I didn't even know I had cheats, but they tell me every single time I kill them. It's rather impressive. I have encountered very few people who wear this, but every time I have, they are just the worst type of person. Do not attempt to communicate with them unless you want a nostalgia trip back to the Black Ops 2 voice lobbies. The PCS Multicam. No one wears this because it is expensive, it's a late unlock, and it's seemingly made out of the stiffest cloth known to man. Apparently, it's tailored for Minecraft Steve because it looks like a cardboard box. The color and camo pattern are great. The fit is not. If someone bought this, they lack taste, and I'm putting it into max toxicity because of that. The tan boss delta is another thing that nobody wears because you either have to pay real dillery dues for it or you have to kill 100 rogues and turn in 50 items of branded gear. Even worse, based on my understanding, this isn't an achievement unlock like it is with some other clothing items, meaning you have to complete this quest every single wipe. I guess if someone is wearing this, they really want to feel unique, even though literally nobody is going to notice. The regular boss delta is the cheap man's urban responder. It costs barely anything, it's easy to unlock, and it's versatile enough to fit with almost any loadout in the game. It is perhaps the most bang for your buck clothing item in Escape from Tarkov, and is perfectly average because of that. I have seen all types of PMCs with all types of skill and playstyles wear this thing, so it's going perfectly in the middle. The adaptive combat is based on the universal camouflage pattern, which was previously used by the US Army until they stopped using it because it's ugly and terrible at its job. This profound truth has not changed simply because it is now in Tarkov. The pixels remain ugly. If someone is wearing this in Tarkov, they definitely wore it in real life at some point, and if that's the case, they have bad knees and zero shits left to give. So they're probably pretty chill. If you wear the Troubleshooter, no you don't, because nobody wears the Troubleshooter. In my years of playing Tarkov, I can at least recall one instance of me seeing somebody wear a clothing item. I have never seen this thing in my life. These guys are so casual and so chill, they don't even play Tarkov anymore. They are outside in the real world just doing better things with their life. If someone is wearing Ranger Green, then they're an airsofter and a LARPer, and definitely care a lot more about how they look than how they play. So they're pretty chill. If someone is wearing the Softshell Flexion, then they have been playing for a while. 5 years ago, this was an incredibly common sight, but over the years, it has severely faded in popularity. People who wear it have been wearing it the entire time, so while their technical skill might be all over the place, they have a lot of game knowledge. This means that their aiming might be lackluster, but they will definitely hit you from some whack-ass angle that only they and 5 people know about. The Chameleon. This dude is an electrician. I don't know. I mean, the blue doesn't really work with any loadouts other than a full UN armor kit, and no one wears the full UN armor kit because it sucks. So I don't really know what they're doing. They are on a different cosmological plane of thought than us mortals. Whatever they're up to, they're goofballs. Okay, this is actually a very strange correlation that I have noticed, but if they are wearing the range specialist, then they will absolutely kill you in scab-on-scab violence. Most of the time, it's not intentional. I wouldn't even call them traitor scavs. They're just kind of dumb. Don't get me wrong, they are entirely competent as PMCs, but the second that they queue up for a scav run, their brain is just replaced by a rock. I need y'all to figure it out, because I would rather be killed out of malice rather than incompetence. The Commando is the fastest way to out yourself as a European on American servers. It's based on a British pullover that was distributed to other European countries and was apparently fairly popular. Bottom line is, no American is wearing this thing. To add to my conspiracy theory, I have never seen this on North American West or North American Central servers, but I do see it on Eastern servers, so I'm on to ya. If they're doing it to ping abuse, that is a rather sweaty and toxic thing. I'm gonna put it right there. The Vektor jacket is the mark of a good player who knows they're good. They have the skill, they have the game knowledge, and they have the ego to match. Notice that I said to match. If they're just alright at the game, then they'll have an ego of an alright player. If they're really good, they'll have an ego that reflects that. They're solid and they won't blame you for their mistakes. Playing with them is a pleasant experience so long as you can also carry your own weight, otherwise they will drop you quick. Then there's the Cereum, or as I like to call it, the roly-poly jacket. Yeah, the Cereum is a mark of a good player who thinks they are the hottest shit since the Library of Alexandria. The skill level ranges from good to excellent, but the ego always far surpasses that. They're always right, they've never made a mistake, and any evidence to the contrary is just an utter fabrication. You can be showing them a clip of where they messed up, and they will still blame literally anything else. Whether it's in game chat, Discord, or Twitter, communication with these people is most often an exercise in futility. If they're wearing the Woodland Infiltrator, they know woods like the back of their hand and will be the most aggressive player you will ever meet on that map. I know the camouflage makes you think that they'll just camp in a bush. Nah, they'll use that camo to blend in, but they're doing so to either get an angle or to get closer to you. I am fully convinced that they have Vietnam-style tunnels just dug around the map because their ability to pop out of nowhere is unmatched. If you lose sight of them, you either need to find them or you need to move because you do not want to be in that position much longer. As for other maps, they just have an obsession with woodland camo and will always be dressed in a fully green loadout. Also, they're really good with bolt-action snipers. The USEC Tier 2. This guy does whack shit, like jump out a 3-story window, calling it a rotate, and then dropping on somebody. I hesitate to call these maneuvers strategies because they're insane and solely rely on the element of surprise rather than strategic thought. You didn't outsmart the enemy, they just refused to believe that you'd do something that stupid. It works fairly often and is really funny. However, when it doesn't work out, like it shouldn't, they can get butthurt and complain. The Urban Responder. Once upon a time, the Urban Responder was a true hallmark of skill. Grinding for it was a long and arduous process, so if someone was wearing it, they were dedicated and pretty good. Ever since it became available as a microtransaction though, it has lost that luster. It's versatile and one of the best looking cosmetics in the game, so everyone just bought it because having it constantly without needing to grind for it is pretty nice. Nowadays, it's more of a fashion choice rather than being a, hey everyone, look how good at the game I am. But there are still those who are extremely bitter that it has lost that, you know, beacon of skill. Then there's the Night Patrol, which is almost the exact same story as the Urban Responder. It used to be really, really hard to obtain, and now that you can just buy it, it really doesn't mean anything. That being said, the 5 people who used to actually grind for this thing are much more angry that you can just buy it now. And that will about do it for our list here. But what about bear players? They don't exist. Once again, thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check out the link below if you're at all interested and get yourself 20% off. If you are watching this right as it went up, then I'm currently live on Twitch, so be sure to come say hi. And I apologize for the delay on this video. Life just gets in the way sometimes, but we should be back to our regular Friday upload schedule next week. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, especially all the way to the end. It really does mean a lot, and I really hope you enjoyed.